I am going to explain a very interesting topic of C++, that is reference parameters. As you people know, in C and C++ both, we have two types of calling. One is call by value, another call by reference. As you people have already studied, in call by reference, what we people do is we pass address of our passing argument, and this way this address is collected in the formal parameters of the called function. See, now we will learn as far as call by reference is concerned, there are two methods to achieve call by reference. One is, as I have explained earlier, we can explicitly pass address of the passing argument to the formal parameters. Second is, we can use a reference parameter, and this is the topic that we are going to discuss today. Now, the second method, that is use of reference parameter, it is in fact technically implicit pointer to the passed argument. Implicit pointer to the passed argument, whereas the first one is explicitly passing address of the passing argument to the formal parameters. Actually, what happens in case of reference parameter is, when we pass our passing argument using reference parameter, actually the formal arguments, that is your formal parameter, it becomes alias to the passed argument. Alias means second name, another name. So that means if we make any changes in the called function using that alias name, the changes will reflect back on the passed argument. Now this is the feature that is in call by reference that we have studied in C also. I am going to supplement this discussion with the help of an example. See, in this example, I am going to use a very common program, that is swapping of two passed arguments. So you can see the function prototype, this one, void swap int ampersand comma int ampersand. As you know, ampersand is address of operator in C and C++. Now at the time of writing the prototype, when I have written int ampersand comma int ampersand, it connotes that at the time of calling this function swap, I would be passing my arguments in a normal manner, but their alias names will be reflected in the formal parameters. See, here I have assigned the values to both the variables var1 and var2. Say value of var1 is 1000, that of var2 is 2000. At this point of time, I am calling the function swap and passing var1 and var2 in a very ordinary manner. But let's take the control to the body of the swap function. What is happening there is, now see, void swap int ampersand v1 comma int ampersand v2. Guys, see carefully. As I have explained earlier, what is happening is, here var1 is being passed and it is its value is not going to be put into v1 because it is not called by value. Neither its address is going to be put into v1. Actually, it means in the called function swap, var1 will also be known as v1. That means here var1 is having a second name v1. What about var2? Now here v2 is nothing else but the second name of var2. So that means when I will be using v1, that is exactly as var1, and when I will be using v2 in the called function swap, it will be same as var2. So again I am repeating it, v1 and v2, they are nothing else but second names for var1 and var2. Now it does not fall under the category of call by value, neither it falls under the category call by reference using explicit pointers, because I am not passing the addresses. So as I have explained, what will happen is if I make any changes into v1 and v2, actually the changes are being made into actual parameters var1 and var2. In this highlighted portion, I have applied the simple logic of swapping the values of two variables. So v1 will be assigned the value of v2 and v2 will be assigned the value of v1. In other words, actually the values of var1 and var2 are getting interchanged. Afterwards, when the control will go back to the calling function, the values of var1 and var2, they will be printed on the screen, and we will see it is printing the swapped values and not the old ones. I am going to execute this program. You can see the result. Before calling the function swap, the value of var1 was 1000 and that of var2 was 2000. But once the control returned back from the called function swap, I got the values of var1 and var2 printed on the screen, and see the values have been swapped. Value of var1 is being shown as 2000 and var2 is 1000. I am showing you the program again. You can write it down in your on your notebook.